everybody. Thank you for joining us for this next Talking Naturally series. I'm joined today by Josh Pridding, who I'll get onto in a minute. But I'm Sammy. I'm one of the trustees at NHSN. So me and Josh are going to have a little chat today about kind of what he's been up to in the Northeast. But Josh, do you want to just briefly introduce yourself and your associations with the society?
Yeah, of course. So I'm from Manchester. I studied marine biology at Newcastle University, and I think it was my second year, I started looking for places to volunteer to get a bit of experience under my belt just for the future. And I came to the NHSN looking for volunteer experience, and now I'm employed by Biomatrix Water Solutions.
Amazing. Is that back in Manchester, or are you still in the Northeast? Or
it's all over. I'm living back in Manchester now, but we build essentially like big floating structures that we put plants on, and they attract insects and other aquatic invertebrates, just increasing the general biodiversity.
Oh, wow, amazing. So how did you kind of first get into natural history? So obviously you did a degree in kind of natural history type things, but have you always had an interest in this area, or?
Yeah, I think just growing up, really, it's all those the core memories that you make. Stuff like my mum always used to take me camping, so I was just always in the natural environment. She had me going to museums and things like that. So yeah, I just got that. Sorry, 2 seconds.
No worries.
Right.
Joyce is still working from home doing these things.
Yeah. Mum's boyfriend just came in. It really threw me off that. Sorry.
No, don't worry at all.
Yeah, so I've always been around, the natural environment, and then there was these things that everyone's seen as well, like Blue Planet. When I was younger, the first ones, they were a big influence on me. So yeah, I've just always been around it, and I think that's something that leads you into wanting to do something with it. I did biology at college and stuff, and eventually made the decision to study marine biology.
Amazing. So was there kind of, you mentioned kind of your mum taking you to places, was there anybody else who kind of inspired you during those early years, or?
I mean, it sounds really cliche saying it, but we were camping in Anglesey once. I think I was like 6 or 7 maybe, and there was a marine biologist on the beach, and in Anglesey, I think in Wales in general, over the summer, you get loads of jellyfish washing up on the beach. So that the marine biologist was there just to educate all the kids and being like, don't touch this one. Here, you can hold this one. And I just remember holding like a moon jellyfish in my hand, like running over to my mum and being like, oh, mum, like, look at this. And my mum sat there going, oh, what are you doing? So yeah, but these probably a few people like that influence people, but mostly it's just from my mum just taking me outdoors all the time.
No, it's so nice when you have like family members who are also passionate about getting outdoors and things like that. It makes a huge difference. So you went from kind of Manchester over to the Northeast. So how did you find kind of being in the Northeast and the outdoor environment there?
Oh, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I was like working in restaurants and bars part-time as well when I was at uni, and I just like my whole uni experience, and like Newcastle and the Northeast in general is so good. Like I've got friends in Middlesbrough as well. I've been down to see them a couple of times. Like it's a nice area of the country with some really like beautiful parts to it as well. Yeah.
Do you have any like favorite parts, like nature parts or anything like that? Any good nature memories in the Northeast?
Mostly just the different beaches that we went to during my degree, and then obviously Gosforth Nature Reserve is like such a gem.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I went, because I think I've been living in Newcastle for maybe like just over 2 years or just under 2 years, something like that. And honestly, I just walked around it and I was just gobsmacked that that spot was just so close. It's like a 20-minute drive from Jesmond, and it was so close to me. I just had no idea it was there. But yeah, I think general areas in Northumberland as well. Like when I've been doing field work and we've been driving up and down the coast and all like around near Morpeth and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful area. And I hear so many people saying that about Gosforth as well. Just like I take a lot of like school groups and teachers there, and they just have no idea that it's there. And also like from the outside, it maybe like doesn't look that big, and then you go in and it just kind of keeps going on and on. So there it is a hidden gem, as you said. So you obviously mentioned kind of like marine biology and stuff. So would you say that that's kind of your area of like expertise, or do you kind of cross over into multiple areas of natural history?
I think, definitely marine biology is my area of expertise. I'm learning little bits to do with like botany and stuff now, just because with my job and like the floating ecosystem, we plant like different species depending on the area or what we want the ecosystem to do in that area, whether it's like remediate the water or to like just general biodiversity increase. We might plant something different.
Yeah.
So like I suppose kind of working in botany, but more with marine biology, I'd say like kelp and like macroalgae, and like I did my dissertation on the invertebrates that live in and around holdfast on macroalgae. Okay. So I'd say that's more my area of expertise, but then I'm working into botany a little bit now at the minute for this job.
Yeah, that's really cool. And do you think like I guess so obviously you were very like involved in NHSN and still are, do you think kind of volunteering and doing that kind of thing has helped you like secure the position that you're in today?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think like I did that the volunteering with the NHSN just to get the experience, but these certain things that like I learned. So I think we were getting rid of some Himalayan balsam because it's an invasive species. We were getting rid of it, and I think I might have seen it before, but I hadn't really. And then we were doing a maintenance job in London at Work for Work, and the boss rang us and he was like, "I've seen some Himalayan balsam. Can you get rid of it?" And my colleague didn't know what it was. And I saw it and straight away I knew what it was. So in that instance, like I'm applying knowledge that I've learned from my volunteering, which was great.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's other stuff as well, like working in the rain and like just bad weather is never easy. But if you've volunteered and you enjoy it when you volunteer, and you'll enjoy it when you're working as well. So when there's been a few bad weather days at work, I can still crack on because I've done it before in volunteering.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point about weather. I definitely think you kind of learn to like prepare yourself for it as well. And like there's like that saying, isn't it, that there's never bad weather, it's just like bad preparation. I think you do a lot of field work, you definitely get to grips with that. So obviously you're kind of like nearish the start of your career, but I guess have you kind of seen any changes in biodiversity even kind of throughout your degree and things like that? Any kind of increases, decreases, or just like anything that you've noticed kind of change in the last few years?
I think now because of my job, and like the whole point of our job is that we bring greenery into urban spaces. It's like your quaysides and your man-made reservoirs and things like that. We're bringing greenery into those areas. And I mean, particularly when we're working closer to the cities and we're working on the canals in the cities and stuff, there's just nothing green anywhere. There's a massive lack of green roofs, green walls, just even like the odd tree planted. And I don't know if I don't think that's something that's happened in the last 5 years. I think that's been going on for 20, 40 years, probably more than that. But I'd say that's the thing that I've noticed most recently, that there's just such a lack of effort to bring greenery into the cities. I think if we started doing that and bringing it into the cities more, it'd spread out more naturally. And you'd see it everywhere if it just started in the bigger cities.
I guess like historically, obviously getting more and more urbanized, but I think it's like really now that we're only really noticing it, because I guess there's like so much more literature about the benefits of green spaces and things like that I think a lot more people are kind of looking around them and being like, actually there's not that many green spaces in our city. So the work that you're doing is excellent. Do you kind of like involve the community in the planting, or like kind of get people involved in any way, or?
Yeah, so when I actually got my job, I got it through volunteering with another charity, Groundwork, because they were working with Biomatrix.
Okay.
And I just went and I volunteered with them, and they had other volunteers working as well, to put the plants in, to fill it up with wood chip and stuff like that. And then a recent job where we were in London, I can't remember where, but we were putting in some new islands, and it was like a group of volunteers that come to help us out there as well. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, so like normally there's some sort of community engagement. I think the lads have told me that they've had like school kids and stuff helping them just put the plants in before as well, which is it's just nice. It's them kind of memories that led me to this sort of career. So
yeah, definitely. No, that's really amazing. Amazing. Well, we haven't got too much time left, so I'm going to leave you kind of with one last question, which is, what advice would you maybe give to somebody? Maybe they're an undergraduate student and they want to kind of get involved in natural history, maybe do some volunteering or anything like that. What advice would you give them?
Just Google it. Like there's so much out there. There's so many different natural history charities trying to do something and make a positive impact, and like whichever one you volunteer with, you get paid an experience. If you do it, if you do like 8 hours once every 2 weeks, you'll pick stuff up that will pay off in the long run. You meet people, like your contacts, especially like my reference from the NHSN was crucial to me getting this job, that I got from Claire. And I appreciate that so much. And she did that because I had a really good work ethic when I came in. And, I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
If you do volunteer, you'll figure out things that you don't like as much as things that you do like.
Yeah.
So then when it does come for you looking for a job, you'll go, oh no, I don't like that side of it. Like I've done it. I know that I don't enjoy it. Let's look for this instead.
Yeah.
So it narrows down your options for the future as well. Which is always good.
No. Amazing. Well, that's amazing advice. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for chatting to us today. Thank you to everybody who's listening. And yeah, we'll leave it there. But thank you very much. And I'll see you again soon.